Hi everyone, Coach Kathy here to talk about, have you ever wondered where all the money went in your bank account? Well, often we get into the whirlwind of the day and all of our money seems to depart from our accounts without us having awareness to it. And it could just be we're overwhelmed, we're just wondering, how do we live, and just, make do with every day without too much drama. But one of the things I really want you to think about is when you are trying to get your money organized, it's so important that you think not about your money goals first, but about your financial values. And so a little bit about, your spending should really kind of define what matters most to you. And spending on your budget or your monthly spending plan should not just be about your core expenses, but supporting your long-term financial goals. But really, we don't seem to spend a lot of time. So I want to talk a little bit today about a reflection exercise so that as you're looking to spend your money and, spending it on bills, retirement, maybe it's a trip or it's just, trying to keep your head above water. Let's talk about how your financial values can really help support your spending so that it can really give you guidance into the future. And so what do I mean? So our money habits are not just about, the numbers, it's also about priorities. And often when we're thinking about our spending, it may or may not be money going towards your actual financial values. And so I think it's important as a financial coach, one of the things I work with my clients on first is really understanding their financial values before we go into their financial goals and then their how they're spending and, tweaking their budget, if you will. So it's really important, that you really understand that direction that you want your money to go, not just the bills to be paid. So what are some questions that you could reflect on? The first one is I want you to think about what brings you the most joy or fulfillment when you spend your money. And I don't just mean spend it on Amazon. That's like, often those are impulse buys, but I really want you to reflect on really what resonates with you. Oftentimes I talk with people, they mention, setting aside that money towards my retirement, that brings me a lot of peace of mind. So the first question is, what brings you the most joy or fulfillment? The second question is, what do I want my money to do for me or my family in the long term? There's a lot of individuals that I talk with, that are baby boomers. Their number one thing is they wanted to leave a financial legacy. Well, maybe that's important to you, but maybe there's something different that you want your money to do. Maybe it's so that your family can go on an awesome trip, or you want your kids to go into private school, or you want to be able to set aside money for them to have a college fund so that they don't have to take on student loan debt. Think about what do you want your money to do for you in the long term? And long term is typically 5 to 10 years. The second question for you to reflect on is, where do you currently spend your money that doesn't align with what you truly care about? And this can be hard for us to really think about and going through our line items of all the money. Oftentimes people will tell me they go out to eat, but it's just to fill their bellies. It doesn't really bring them joy, or the experience is not something that they really cared about. It was just a convenience that they had purchased. And often, people will go shopping because they want retail therapy. But if that clothes is not something that you truly care about and bring you joy, well, then really, what is deep down the things that you spend money on that really could, that you really care about? And that, I think, again, is getting at the value of what you want to spend for your financial goals. Another question is, what's a financial habit that would make you feel proud 5 years from now? And often when we're in the whirlwind of the day, we're very much in the spending of the now and not looking towards the future. So this is really one that I want you to reflect on. What financial habit would make you feel proud 5 years from now? And you really have to think about that because we all have a variety of different habits. What might work well for me from a financial habit could be something wild and crazy to someone else. So think about that. What is a habit that would make you proud in 5 years? And then lastly, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? Now, it doesn't have to be a financial legacy. Maybe you want to make sure that you leave a paid for house for your kids. Maybe you just want to have, joyful experiences or adventures with your kids. Those don't necessarily have to have a financial tag to it. So again, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind for your family, for your partner, for your children? Maybe it could be, for your work legacy. So something for you to kind of really think about. Those are the 5 questions I really would encourage you to kind of think on, because once you can really get clear on your financial values, that's when you can then start developing your financial goals and then executing on those goals with your spending, and your spending plan and your budget just gets so much easier. Because what I have found, once you can get that reminder of what your goal, what your values are, your goal will then make more sense, and your spending should be supporting both of those. So again, the spending should not just be leaving your account without knowledge and support of your values and your goals. And so with that, I hope this exercise gives you some clarity, and it kind of can help you kind of imagine what a strong financial future could look like for you. I am Coach Kathy. I am the owner of Lord Financial Coaching. If you've liked this content, I would really encourage you to subscribe and hit the like button, and get awareness. Hit the bell so that you can get announced when I have new content. But just really want to encourage you. Financial prosperity is possible for all of us, one smart step at a time. Wishing you the best.